Well, you're on a podcast, and on the podcast were a few girls who did OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process of the conversation, two of the girls stormed off.
Yeah.
Explain from your point of view why they stormed off.
They stormed off because the truth was too much for them to handle. They were good with it when they were getting the adoration, when they called themselves entrepreneurs. I'm a business owner and this and that. And I just started asking, if you're an entrepreneur, what kind of business? You making this money in investing? Start asking questions, and because they couldn't answer the questions, they found it offensive. They found it offensive that a man could even. One woman said, "Who are you to judge? You shouldn't, a single man or women, you shouldn't judge what women do." It's like, well, wait a minute. Men built the world that we live in for the most part. Yes, women have had their contributions, but what average men have done, we're in New York City. These buildings were not built by Wall Street executives. They were built by blue-collar construction workers. The very men that these women look down upon today, but they'll take their OnlyFans dollars. So a lot of these women, when you just ask questions about what you should get, what you should deserve, they don't feel as though they have anything to give they don't have to answer to a guy, anything. And I say, okay, fine. But we start having that conversation. And when I asked, what are you going to do when the OnlyFans money dries up? Because I related it to the adult industry. There's always going to be a hot new starlet. You know, Jenna Jameson was she changed the game. But there was a time where she became, not a has-been, or she wasn't a hot new girl. And just like in that business, they go from doing certain kind of scenes to where they'll start doing other kind of scenes, different kind of scenes. I'm like, that always happens. Strip clubs, adult dancing, it always happens in a sexualized business. What are you going to do? They got upset because it was like, well, that's not going to happen. I'll always be hot. I'm like, well, no, you won't. And if you're not planning for this, or if OnlyFans stops, the whole quote was, when OnlyFans ends, Subway will be hiring. Because the plan wasn't ever anything beyond, I'm going to continue to sell my youth, my beauty. I will always be on top. There will never be anybody bigger than me. And don't question why I'm doing what I'm doing, because it's my money and I'm a woman, hear me roar. And I didn't see why it was so offensive, but it made for a good video clip.